Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So you guys can see here on the chart, XRP is maintaining momentum to the upside. Right now it's trading at about 49 cents per coin. And guys, I've got XRP on the daily looking like a bullish pennant pattern. We really haven't seen that crash that everybody was kind of quietly anticipating because, well, it's crypto and you never know what is going to happen. Let me throw this on the 4-hour. So we aren't really seeing anything negative with regards to XRP specifically. It's kind of trading in this range, forming what is looking like a strong bullish pennant pattern. Here, let me get rid of that. Let me throw it on the 1 hour for you guys just to see the micro time frame. So, we have been vacillating a little bit, but we are maintaining this level of support here, which is about 41 cents. So over the summer, we had been in the 30s and even did go down past 30 cents. Down to, what was the low? Roughly 29 cents, give or take. But now there is some pep in XRP's step. And, it just kind of took off on its own. Right now, Bitcoin at $19,987. So Bitcoin's still hovering above $20,000. But, we aren't really seeing too much movement for the king crypto. Usually Bitcoin is the market mover. So I think it's pretty cool to see XRP, kind of breaking away from Bitcoin, at least at that moment in time. Volume has died down. Activity has died down. But we're still maintaining support. We are forming another healthy bullish pennant. So all things considered, guys, I think we are in pretty good shape. Now, with regards to the crypto space, Vinco at Crypto Vinco here posted this just in. Binance has suspended all deposits and withdrawals via the BNB chain after millions of BNB tokens were stolen by hackers. This is one of the largest cryptocurrency hacks in history. So this was the warning they got, this is a tweet from BNB Chain. Due to irregular activity, we're temporarily pausing the BSC. We apologize for the inconvenience and will provide further updates here. Thank you for your patience and understanding. And just another screen grab here with regards to Binance. So millions of BNB coins were actually stolen. Let's bring up BNB real quickly here. It's interesting to see that, despite what happens with the chain and the fact that there can be a shutdown altogether and that, there was a huge hack, one of the biggest in history. And, the fact that over $500 million US dollars worth of BNB was stolen, the price is still maintaining fairly robust at $284 per coin. We aren't really seeing too much activity on the BNB chart. But this, again, guys, another reason to keep your cryptocurrency safe on a cold storage solution. You wouldn't want your coins, even if you don't hold Binance coin, you wouldn't want your coins hacked by hackers. BNB chain resumes after a potential exploit drained an estimated of $100 million in crypto. The chain has now resumed operations after fixing an exploit that allowed an attacker to move $100 million to $110 million in crypto off the Binance-linked blockchain. So the original estimates were $500 million, so $500 million. Now they're estimating the losses at $100 to $110 million. BNB chain is back in operation after it was forced to hit the breakers on Thursday after the blockchain with ties to the world's largest crypto exchange suffered what it called a potential exploit that on-chain evidence suggested could have targeted hundreds of millions of dollars in crypto. BNB chain is composed of the BNB Beacon chain and BNB Smart chain. But I got to give credit to Binance. They were on it right away, not letting the hackers get the best of them. But this is still no excuse to keep your cryptocurrency on an exchange, guys. I personally keep my cryptocurrency on a Ledger Nano. I do have an affiliate link in the description if you guys still aren't familiar with the Ledger Nano or cold storage solutions. But this, guys, this is the safest way to keep your cryptocurrency. I love the Ledger Nano, have been using one since 2017. Again, affiliate link in the description. You don't have to use it though. Just want to make you aware that this kind of thing happens. And I think as we eventually march on to a new bull rally, more hackers are going to be active. And this kind of thing is unfortunately going to happen more and more. I want to move on, guys. Michael Branch here on Twitter posting this. Now, Charles Hoskinson has been very vocal as of late. He's saying there's vastly superior versions of Bitcoin that will burst across the crypto market. So, he acknowledges he's a smart guy. Bitcoin is not going to be the coin. Bitcoin is basically what gold is to old school investors. It's an investment tool, a product, gold 2.0, store of value, if you will. Hoskinson believes wrapped coins that are pegged to the price of Bitcoin will spread like wildfire across a wide swath of smart contract-enabled blockchains. Wrapped tokens have grown in popularity by essentially giving investors, in this case, Bitcoin holders, a way to trade and utilize their Bitcoin in decentralized applications. And here's a quote, my prediction. is that in 5 years' time, the majority of Bitcoin will not be on the Bitcoin network, but rather actually wrapped floating in other networks. And that wrapped Bitcoin will be used in all kinds of dApps or decentralized applications and smart contracts. It potentially could even be used by nation states to create a means of exchange and a unit of account to actually have a stable currency that they can use for daily transactions inside their ecosystem with a sound monetary policy. So utilizing the concept of Bitcoin and having these wrapped coins pegged to Bitcoin, but not actually using the physical Bitcoin, not that Bitcoin's physical, but not actually using the Bitcoin, the ones and zeros that are Bitcoin specifically. It's important to understand that whether it be Bitcoin living on the Bitcoin network or Bitcoin living on another network, it is still Bitcoin. Hoskinson said that wrapped Bitcoin is vastly superior to regular Bitcoin, as wrapping the flagship crypto asset enhances its utility value. So this is just some insight from Charles Hoskinson, obviously the creator of Cardano. He did develop on the Bitcoin blockchain earlier, sees the shortcomings, realizes that more developers are creating new dApps currently that will in fact transfer Bitcoin value through wrapped coins. Of course, we also have the Spend the Bits wallet, which can transfer your Bitcoin on the XRP ledger, which is a great feature. I personally have a Spend the Bits wallet because I do like Bitcoin. I do hold Bitcoin. I would love to pay in Bitcoin. Unfortunately, not a lot of small businesses accept Bitcoin, but it is a good prospect, right? Transferring Bitcoin at the speed of light on the XRP ledger using the Spend the Bits wallet. Charles Hoskinson also sat down for this interview, this one from cryptomemeguy.xrp, a huge middle finger to all the VCs who rugged retail over and over with these coins, and two huge middle fingers to the SEC, who let it happen. I'm actually sitting here with my middle fingers up as I'm reading this. They were their boys, but they protect us from Kim Kardashian. Yeah, what the heck's that all about? Charles will go down in history for calling these criminals out. Another great clip here from Charles Hoskinson. Listen to what he has to say.
Certainly A16Z and others are like, Cardano. But the problem is that we didn't...
Why do you think that is?
Because we didn't have any Ponzonomics for them. I mean, let's be honest here. The vast majority of VCs, let's just be honest, the way they approach it is liquidity. So they say, when is the token coming out? Where's the marketplace for the token going to be? Do I get an early distribution? How do I exit that early distribution when the retail people come in? And you've seen numerous layer ones and dApps, we won't name names, where they launch to market at a very high valuation, the insiders dump, they go down, and they walk away with a lot of money.
Oh, so Charles Hoskinson calling out VC firms like Andreessen Horowitz, and he's not naming names, but basically, Cardano wasn't about to play ball with these VC firms. They didn't have any Ponzi-nomics, as Charles Hoskinson describes the situation. So it is, again, a very good reminder to be very, very careful which types of coins you guys are investing in. Again, this is why I follow the projects with value. This is why I follow the projects with, the companies that are developing to create real world solutions to real world problems, like Ripple. Cardano's another great one, XLM, Stellar, Algorand, VeChain. These are companies that have formed real legitimate partnerships. And this is why, there's going to be a handful of cryptocurrencies that really do really, really well in this world. And I don't know whether it's going to be 20 or 50 or 100 or whatever. But, considering there is over 20,000 cryptocurrencies, most of them are garbage, guys. Just be aware what you're buying and the purpose for why you're buying. I mean, I have no problem. And I'm not condoning anything. Nothing on this channel is financial advice. But I get it. If you want to buy into a coin, wait for a big pump, sell out of it, make some profit. That is one thing. But, when you're thinking of these coins for the long term and, especially if you don't hit your targets, and, this is a perfect example with us in XRP. A lot of us were waiting for that $10 to $15 XRP. Obviously, we didn't hit our targets for many different reasons. Many of us are still holding XRP, but none of us are really upset that we're holding XRP. I mean, I've been holding XRP since 2017, accumulated a lot more in 2018 and 2019, and I'm just not worried. I mean, I know there is going to be true value, and we're already seeing it being developed day after day after day. The lawsuit, of course, is one of the bigger question marks that is going to be the deciding factor as to where the XRP cryptocurrency goes. I saw this from Michael Branch, guys. Ripple's defense in SEC lawsuit might be crypto's best chance. And, I've been saying this over and over. It's going to really affect the entire crypto industry as a whole. It's not just going to be the XRP cryptocurrency, although I do have a feeling that XRP will likely perform the best once we get this clarity. So according to Ripple's general counsel, Stuart Alderoty, Ripple's defense against the SEC lawsuit may be crypto's best chance for regulatory clarity. Ripple has so far incurred more than $100 million in legal charges in its defense of the ongoing lawsuit filed by the SEC. Now, Stuart Alderoty was on Nikki Kristoff's podcast here. He says, "Thanks for having me. Was great chatting with you on the generational changing promise of blockchain and crypto technology, all things Ripple, the need for greater regulatory clarity, so on and so forth." Now, Stuart Alderoty was quoted as saying this. Here's a clip from the podcast posted by Digital Asset Buy here. Stuart Alderoty with Nikki Kristoff. Listen to this.
You have recently filed a motion for summary judgment, which means you're trying to get the court to toss the case against you by the SEC. Just based on what you said on its face, the law applies in a certain way. If this is successful, the motion for summary judgment, that's a huge win for the industry because it does give some clarity.
I'm going to repeat what you said. It's a huge win for the industry because it finally gives clarity to the industry about what the limits of the SEC's jurisdiction are. And the SEC, I think, will be exposed for, again, not looking to faithfully apply the law, but what they're doing is looking to remake the law. And I go back to what I said earlier. An agency can't remake the law. Only the legislature can remake the law.
Yes.
An agency cannot remake the law. It's going to be up to the legislators. And Stuart Alderoty sounding very confident that Ripple is going to win. It's going to be a huge win for the industry. I mean, this is what the United States needs to thrive in the crypto blockchain, distributed ledger space, the control and the freedom to be able to build out and to innovate. And so, it's been a tough slog as of now. Conspira XR theorist bringing up an interesting point with regards to maybe why. Okay, so a plot twist. He's saying Gary Gensler is actually the good guy on Ripple's side. So, okay, an alternate theory here. He's just letting the sideshow continue, knowing full well he won't appeal the decision that XRP is not a security. Case closed. So a bit of a Conspira XRP theory here. JV here responding, the fact that he knows exactly what XRP is and what its intended use case is makes this theory actually believable. Now, I mean, we've taken a look at some of the Gary Gensler clips from the MIT days back in 2018, him teaching classes, him talking about Ripple, him talking about XRP, calling XRP a currency in some of those clips. And so, I mean, things that just don't match up, which lends a lot of credibility to these types of theories. Now, Greenwood Holding Company, he posted this thread on Gary Gensler, and I want to go through some of this with you guys. While running the CFTC, Gary Gensler ended a long-standing investigation into silver price manipulation, claiming there was no evidence. JP Morgan was then found guilty of rigging metal markets on several occasions between July of 2007 and August of 2016. Here's an article just with regards to that. JP Morgan metal trader pleads guilty for spoofing, resigns from bank. So some supporting material. Gary Gensler was also the CFO for Hillary Clinton during Russiagate. Now we know about that too. And again, an article just with regards to that. Well, at Goldman Sachs, Gary Gensler worked with Robert Maxwell, father of Ghislaine Maxwell or Ghislaine Maxwell. And I think you know who those folks are. Some in my office saying, here's a quote, that I really don't work in the media field. I work in family planning. And as an ombudsman to families, 2 years later, Gensler leads the acquisition of the NY Daily News for Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell, who defrauded a $1 billion pension fund. Here's a clip from 1989 of Gary Gensler.
In a sense, to compete in the global field with Rupert Murdoch and Robert Maxwell and Ken Thompson, there are some New Age giants. And Gannett and Knight Ridder and Times Mirror, in that sense, are New Age giants. And some in my office say that I really don't work in the media field. I work in family planning and as an ombudsman to families. But the buyers are large chains, and they want the highest profit. The sellers, it's a family group. Usually it's cathartic. And by this point, all they want is the quick buck and the certainty of a closing.
Okay, and then there was the MIT Media Lab, which was funded by Epstein while Gary Gensler was an advisor. Did we have to go here? Well, apparently there is a connection. He was hired at MIT by Joy Ito, a close friend of Epstein as well. So I didn't know that's how he got his MIT job, but apparently there is a connection there. Joichi Ito, head of the media lab at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, has resigned after it was revealed that he and other Media Lab staff had attempted to conceal financial contributions from convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, reported last Friday, and that Ito and MIT Media Labs, which hosts a number of innovation programs, including the Digital Currency Initiative, had accepted donations from Epstein, even though the financier was on the university's disqualified donors list, and attempted to keep the source of funds a secret. Oh my goodness, the corruption and possibly even worse than that is now becoming exposed. And now Gary Gensler is continuing his campaign of corruption at the SEC. So some interesting tidbits here that I did not know about. Wanted to thank Greenwood Holding Company just for posting that. All right, let's get out of that dark space and back to some positive news here. Crypto Eddie posting this, okay? Out on a limb, 100%, wait for it. And are we waiting to pop bottles, Sento Sumo Saba? When are we celebrating? Here's John Deaton at a fireside chat with Kathy Chu, all right? And John Deaton, you know, he's been pretty diplomatic. I guess diplomatic's not really the word, but fairly conservative, I guess, regarding his optimism with regards to the SEC Ripple lawsuit outcome. But here, at this fireside chat, here's what he tells Kathy Chu if he were really to give his truthful, honest opinion about the lawsuit and what he thinks the outcome will be.
And as you know, there's no fraud in this case. There's not one allegation of fraud. So this is a pretty straightforward case. And I've become more and more, I try to stay, you know, not too optimistic so I can give people more objective advice, but I just don't see how the SEC wins this case at this point. I really do. I'm going to go on a limb and predict a victory for Ripple and XRP holders.
He's going out on a limb and predicting a victory. I mean, we have gotten this far. So now a lot of the evidence is has been revealed. So I think at this stage, John Deaton is feeling comfortable enough to let us XRP holders understand the possibility or the probability of a win for Ripple and XRP. On top of which, I also saw this, guys, from Bull Diep at DiepSun here on Twitter. According to a reliable source, BitBoy Crypto shared that Ripple turned down a settlement with the SEC in 2021, and that Brad Garlinghouse knew Ripple had the SEC by the balls. His words, not mine. The SEC is going to lose its power. And this clip was just posted today, October the 7th, 2022. Listen to this.
So I think we are in the final stages of this. I still think we don't see the end of this thing probably till quarter 2 of next year. It's unfortunate. Wish it would happen sooner than that. But really, the longer this drags out, the better it's going to be for the price, because we want this to happen after Bitcoin bottoms. Then you might actually get a little more sustained price action. And I will tell you, you know, we were very infamous for saying this thing was going to end in September of last year, and it didn't happen. But I do know someone who swears, and there's someone I know personally, this is not some random person that messaged me, that Brad Garlinghouse told him face to face that they turned down a settlement from the SEC in 2021. Why? Because Brad Garlinghouse knows they have the SEC by the balls. And I believe this is actually the beginning of the end of the SEC and crypto enforcement.
All right. Well, that's great you bring that up, because that's my next point. And that's a strong statement you just made, because Gary Gensler.
I know it's true. I know unequivocally that is true.
About the settlement.
Well, no, that the SEC is going to be losing power over crypto.
So unequivocally here, Ben Armstrong stating the SEC will lose their power over crypto. And, you know, as I was mentioning earlier, it's not these organizations who create the rules. It's going to be Congress. So, I mean, I've got to go out on a limb here and tend to believe him. I mean, he's putting his reputation on the line. He has a lot of faith in this source that apparently spoke to Brad Garlinghouse face to face with regards to a settlement. And, you know, again, we have heard this in other spheres that Ripple did have a settlement on the table as early as 2021. They did not accept because they knew they had the SEC by the balls, as Ben Armstrong points out. And we've also heard chatterings elsewhere that Ripple will only settle. And so I think this probably feeds into the whole SEC settlement rumor from back in 2021, that Ripple will only settle if XRP gets full and complete clarity. And so, guys, this is what we're waiting for. This is why this has been dragged out for so long. But, you know, coming out at the other end of this, I think we are going to be pleasantly surprised when it comes to the price of XRP. I think this front run back from last month was just the beginning, and I think there's more XRP appreciation to be had in the coming months. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.